I'm here at the cutoff, and we're going to do a small boat crappie fishing tournament. I don't know how many boats going to be here today. I'm guessing 20, but everybody's getting their boats, the kayaks and little jump boats across the fence, and we're gonna kick this thing off. This is our second annual tournament. So last year I didn't record it. I was having too much fun, so we'll try to record it this year. So that's a beautiful sunrise. So I do have a plan. So I fished the lake a week before the tournament. So I came out a week before the tournament, and so I have an idea of where I want to fish, and I have an idea of how long I want to stay. So I'm hustling to get to the spots where I want to fish, and so I'm using the motor. I'm running the motor and pedaling at the same time. So I'm getting about a little more than 4 miles per hour like this, doing this way. So got to get to my spots, fish them, not hang out too long in one spot, whether I'm catching fish or not. I gotta hit all of these spots that I think that there's going to be fish in those particular spots. So, not like a boat, you could just shoot all over the lake in a few seconds. You get in the kayak, you gotta work at it. Here I am at the first spot. I gave this spot about 7 minutes. I didn't ever get a hit. I didn't have any confidence in this spot. So I only gave it 7 minutes, and after 7 minutes, I was like, okay, keep moving. And I had to keep pushing myself. Look, move. There's the fish. Even if there's fish here, they're not biting. So I was like, move. So finally convinced myself after about 7 minutes to move out of the spot. And that may have been the number, I want to say when I stopped at a spot, I want to say I gave that spot about 10 minutes. And if I didn't catch a fish in 10 minutes after this spot, because this spot, I'm telling you, I gave it 7 minutes. But after about 10 minutes of on all the other spots, I just moved on. And if I caught a fish, I stayed a little longer. But if I didn't catch anything, I didn't get a hit. 10 minutes, and I was moving. Okay, so I'm on to the next spot, and I'm passing locations where I have caught fish before, and I'm passing them, and I'm like, okay, you picked out these spots that you're gonna fish. You need to go straight to those spots and fish those spots. And my plan was, on the way back to the takeoff spot or the launching spot, that if I have time, I can fish these spots that I normally fish. But right now, I'm pushing past these spots that I normally fish, and I mean, it is really hard to do. I mean, I'm like, oh man, I caught fish right here. Oh, I should try this. That's what I wanted to do, but so I managed to convince myself to stick with the plan that I had laid out, and just keep moving. So I'm coming up on this stump, and I want to check it. I was like, oh, let me check this stump, make sure nothing's hanging on there. Because sometimes uh, there's a big fish in this tournament, and sometimes you can find a big fish just sitting on a stump like this. So I wanted to make sure that one's not sitting there. Definitely no group of fish are sitting there, but I saw something that I thought maybe one fish was in. So I was going to just drop on it and see what happened. But it was nothing there. I fished it for a couple of minutes, and then I moved on. Now, this was not one of the spots that I was planning, that was in the plan. It's just that I saw the stump, I thought I saw something there, and I wanted to check it out, because a lot of times you can, a stump sitting out by itself like this, you can pick up a pretty good sized fish off of it. Gotta keep moving, keep moving, and you get a fish a chance to bite. If they don't bite, just move on. I mean, that's what you got to do. So I'm sitting on a spot that I planned to fish, and man, I have a lot of confidence in this spot here. Heavy lay downs in this spot. Nice brush pile. But I gave this spot about 10 minutes, and not even a single hit. But spoiler alert, I came back to this spot on my way back, and I caught a nice fish on it. But they would not bite during the early morning. It was afternoon, I believe, when I came back and hit that spot on my way back. But just because they're not biting when you first get there. If it's on your way back, I mean, you check it out and give it another try, especially on a day like today where the fish are. These fish, I think these fish are done spawning, but I'm not for sure. 10 minutes, I'm on the move again. And I'm not looking at my clock, I'm feeling it, So I came up on this tree. It was in the plan. I gave it 10 minutes. I gave it two jigs, two profiles, two different profiles, and nothing. And so, like I said, if they're not biting, my plan was, to hit the spot, try to catch a fish in it. If they don't bite, just to move on. I mean, this is a pretty good sized tree, so it's a lot of area to cover, and the fish are typically not all over. They're in one location, and you just got to get lucky and sit on top of them. Drop your jig on top of them. But if you just pluck all the way around it, then you may be able to, locate them or get close to one that, come and chase your jig down. But I plucked and I spent about 10 minutes on it, and I moved on. In this next spot, if I don't catch any fish in this next spot, I'm probably in trouble. I want to make contact with this brush that's down here. I want to bump it, you know. So I'm gonna cast my jig across it. Just lay down, you know. Well, brush pile, lay down, whatever you want to call it. But and I want to make contact with it. It's something about bumping it really turns the fish on to a strike on it. You know, if you just swim across the top of it, they'll chase it down. But a lot of times when you bump it, it really, really, really makes them want to hit it. So what I try to do is I try to really make pretty good contact with that lay down. This fish was only 10 and a quarter, and that's better than a sharp poke in the eye. So I put it in the live well, and I found my hat. So I was pretty happy at this point.
Two fish in the tournament cut off. Got 2 fish, got 10 fish, weigh in limit.
I just hooked a black bass, and every time I catch one of these things, no matter what size they are, it for some reason it always end up messing up the crappie fishing. and you just might as well, you know, I not every single time you might need to move on, but I mean most of the time you just need to move on. So no more hits in that spot after that black bass, and I don't know if that's really what happened, but I moved on. Spent a half an hour in that spot, 4 keepers. So I'm moving on to the next location. Let's get bent. Maybe only 5 minutes in this location. I couldn't really pinpoint the brush. The wind was giving me a tough time locating the brush. So I kind of gave up on this spot because I felt like the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. What I could see and on the graph, and actually hitting this small little tiny brush pile, I gave it, you know, I tried to see if I could get lucky and just bump it and see if something would come out of it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't ever hit it. So I gave it 5 minutes and I just moved on to the next spot. Okay, this spot I only gave maybe 3 or 4 minutes because it's kind of an obvious location. I'm sure some of the guys that have their little gas motors that were out in front of me already hit this spot, you know, with it sticking up out of the water. I was kind of concentrating on piles that, you know, didn't protrude out of the water. So there'll be less fish, you know. The fish seen less jigs or live bait or anything. So there was a chance that you could pick up something from this, but if there was a fish sitting on there, someone else probably would have caught it by the time I got here. Boy, I'm moving so fast, my hat's blowing off. But I gotta keep moving, but I'm going back to get this hat. Come up on a spot, you know, this is a spot I plan on fishing, and black bass sitting there. My goodness.
Everything luck? This fish ought to get me close to the big fish.
Pulling some up?
Caught, I got 5 keepers. How y'all doing?
Got a few on the thing, they're doing a little better. I got about 5 on mine too.
Sand bass. It's time to move. so I'm gonna move on to the next spot because I saw some fish here and I'm sure they're all sand bass. I spent 30 minutes fishing this spot to figure out that what I was seeing was sand bass. So moving on. Too small. Too small.
I think I got 7.
7?
Yeah. Y'all got any? 5? Yeah.
Okay, so look like I'm getting hungry, but so I'm heading back towards the boat launch at this point. Now I have a fish, I'm pretty sure, and I have one fish that's 10 and a quarter, and I want to replace that fish. So actually at this point, I would really like to catch 3 more good fish. So I'm gonna fish the spots that I passed up on my way up to where I'm at now. So the goal is to catch 3 more decent fish.
more good fish. 2 more good fish.
Heading into the weigh-in, and that last fish I just caught is really going to make a difference in my overall weight, because that one fish I kept talking about that's 10 and a quarter, it was really thin. But that live well I have also was able to keep my fish alive the whole time, and you know, you lose a few ounces when your fish die.
Figure out the big ones.
Thank you. Dang, you still alive?
You give it. I should not need it back.
Whose fish is that like?
I think that's 10, right? 7.9.
We had about 20 fishermen fishing this tournament. Some of the guys were doubled up in a boat, but each person was supposed to have their own stringer. So, you know, the 2 guys in one boat didn't put their 2 fish together and make 10. So each individual guy had their own stringer.
One more ain't gonna make no difference when you go to clean them.
Alright, third place, stringer, Tyler Anderson, 7.4 pounds.
All right.
Second place, stringer, Jason Cox, 7.8 pounds. First place, big stringer Wiley Clark, 7.9 pounds.
Woo!
We got a tie for big crappie.
What?